So this is my footage of hiking Mount Blue Sky, formerly known as Mount Evans, on August 21st, 2024. Just a quick backstory here. About 3 years ago, my friends and I drove up the mountain, and after seeing how difficult it was just to get from the parking lot to the summit, I knew I had to prepare it as much as possible before returning to actually hike it. So since I don't live near any big mountains, this involved as many practice hikes on regular trails I could do, and about a year of strenuous cardio on an elliptical mostly in my garage. Um, for the video itself, after seeing how crooked the Whiteface footage turned out using the backpack strap, I actually just bought a chest harness, which seemed to help stabilize things a lot for this one. Um, I also made some mistakes in what I was saying throughout the hike. Main one being I kept calling Summit Lake, the lake all the way at the top. I was calling that Echo Lake. So there's just a few notes I've added throughout the video to make these corrections. Um, Editing all that also took about as long as the hike itself. Just piecing everything together in the proper order, making sure it transitioned well and everything, rather than just back to back to back like the Whiteface footage. Um, I also did just want to bring up that I do not have any sponsorships or brand affiliations, so even though I might mention products or show certain brands throughout the video, these are not paid for in any way. And finally, I just hope that, seeing this helps motivate someone else to get out there and try doing something that seems impossible at the time. Because with lots of hard work and dedication, you can achieve your goals. All right, starting the Mount Blue Sky, formerly Mount Evans hike here. It is 6:31 a.m. Stepping off the campsite here. There's the scenic byway there. It's a little windy this morning, but nothing too crazy. Oh man. Right off the bat here, it's a beautiful morning view. It was pretty yesterday. Alright, now the wind's a little blocked here. We're 10,700 feet approximately. 6:34 a.m. Yesterday we did the first part of this hike, probably the first like 15-ish%. With myself, Mom, Brittany, and Zoe. That was good. It was a good hike. Felt bad for poor Zoe by the end, but she did good. And this hike starts off nice wide path. Almost reminds me of like something you'd find in upstate New York with all the pine trees. Path just kind of covered in needles, but clearly visible. It's very interesting how quickly this will change to much different terrain up ahead. Alright, time is 6:48 a.m. So about 15 minutes in, 10,726 feet, 0.69 miles. We are already changing terrain here. Now, instead of walking on a nice path, we're walking on the side of a drop. Take a look at that. Just the mountains off in the distance are so beautiful.
Looks like there's a lot of fog up there, but I'm sure by the time I actually get there, it'll be completely different. A few more minutes here. We're only at 0.8 miles now, but absolutely fantastic views on this trail. Even if you don't do the full Mount Blue Sky summit hike, just the first section alone to Idaho Springs is fantastic. Or Idaho Springs Reservoir. Absolutely beautiful. Just another quick shot from this angle here. Absolutely breathtaking, if you ask me. It's 6:59 a.m., just 1.1 miles. This is probably the hardest part of the Idaho Springs Reservoir trail. It's just very rocky, a bit steep. Not too crazy. You could definitely bring, kids on this. Or if you're not experienced, it's a completely fine hike. But it is the worst part. There's just some switchbacks that go back and forth. You've got plenty of space here. You got probably, it's like 10 feet in most spots. But maybe someone who's a little afraid of heights might not like it. But very stable. But once you hit these switchbacks, just know that that's really the worst part. Nothing harder. And honestly, it was easier going up than it was down. Going down, you're like catching your footing every time. Going up, no issues at all. Just a little bit more muscular. 4 miles, 7:08 a.m. Yesterday, my mom found this tree and laid on it. She said that it was the most comfortable position possible, and it really was. Got a nice little footrest going on, good back support. If it's still standing like this, recommend giving it a try if you need a break. Up ahead here, there's something pretty cool too. Just around the corner here, we will get to a creek. There's some water there. Might be a little bit further up, but we'll get to a creek where there was actually little flakes of it looked gold. It's probably pyrite, fool's gold. But we didn't get time to go to the gold mine that we wanted to. So he loves that stuff, but we didn't get a chance. But it's okay, because right here, up and down, little creek. Not sure how well this will show on camera, but there's all these little flakes. And she went digging with a little bag and just got some little gold flakes up. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to get to do that for real for her, even if it is pyrite. And then right after the tree and little gold spot, this bridge crossing here. It's very stable. It's bolted down with railroad spikes. She got a stream. And that stream there goes up to the reservoir that we're going to be visiting, I believe. We'll check back in a little bit. About 1.74 miles at 7:17 a.m. Climbing the last bit before getting to the reservoir. Definitely a lot better today in the shade. Yesterday we didn't get here until like 1 p.m. The sun was beating down and didn't do us any favors. But earlier in the day, not bad. Just imagine your uncle who lives out in the middle of nowhere. He's got that steep dirt driveway. It's basically what this is. Not too bad, but not something you want to do under the heat of the sun. Go back for a second here because I realized I forgot to point something out. My mom saw this yesterday. Give me a little smiley face on the rocks. Super cute. If that's still here, it's right before the area managed in cooperation with the city of Idaho Springside. Very cute little thing someone did there. 52 minutes in, just over 2 miles. Made it to the reservoir here. Got a little bit of a morning sprinkle coming in. Should go away. Definitely do yourself a favor. As pretty as it is right here, walk down to the end. You can see that the peak just keeps coming. Here we are at the end of the little trail here. And if this is clear, you can see even further, but still very cool, even with the fog. Once the morning fog clears though, you can see all the ridges. Very beautiful. Quick shot here. Just a different angle from the reservoir. Definitely worth a little day hike. I'd recommend packing a little lunch of some kind, especially if you're not, usually doing much hiking. That you can eat when you get here, relax. If you've got a filter straw, you could refill water from here, I believe. Hopefully that's legal. I bet people do it all the time. But very pretty. Definitely worth coming up to. 7:51 a.m. 2.84 miles and 10,788 feet. Just a little bit past the reservoir. Got the start of the Mount Evans Wilderness here. Even though Mount Blue Sky was renamed, or Mount Evans was renamed to Mount Blue Sky, the Mount Evans Wilderness, as of right now, still remains. It's just, I think it's Colorado renamed the mountain, but the USDA or whatever hasn't renamed the wilderness. But hopefully within a few years, you know, it's pretty quick for government work. That'll be renamed. But nothing too remarkable. Very pretty, of course. The cliffs up there and everything around. Just nothing on trail too crazy as of yet. It is 8 a.m., 3.13 miles in, 10,937 feet. Just a little opening here along the path and just have this great view of the mountainside. I just stopped a few minutes ago and took off my sweater that I had on. It feels pretty good, probably like 60-ish degrees out, but you know, I'm all warmed up, so going good so far. The craziness has not yet begun though. 8:12 a.m. About a little over an hour and a half in, 11,134 feet, and look at these rocks. This reminds me of Whiteface in New York, just how rocky this path is. Still not bad. Definitely noticing we're starting to get some steeper spots every so often. Realistically, not bad at all. Especially not when you can just stop for a second, look around, and take it all in. Wow. 3.87 miles at 8:26 a.m. 11,438 feet at this meadow here, and it's incredible looking over there and realizing that's where I just was before the edge of that ridge, and then still got a ways to go, but man, you can see stand up on this rock here, you can see the Chicago Creek cliff face there. It's gonna be brutal, but then up there, I'm assuming that's Mount Blue Sky, that's probably Spalding. I don't know why the camera keeps shutting off after like 30 seconds or a minute. Sorry about that. I gotta look into that. But all I was saying, we're getting close to making good time, making very good time. You know, that's gonna take a hot minute, but we got here at a good time. It's only 8:30, so all right, check back in a minute. At a minute, I didn't literally mean it, but it's been about 30 seconds, and gotta follow this little creek here. I do not want to get wet before doing the rest of this. You know, I've got the change of socks if needed, but would much rather stay dry. Little balance beam here. Wow. It's actually a bit deeper than it looks. Probably about 8 inches to a foot. Ugh. You can hear the waterfalls too, little mini ones. Not bad though. At 8:46 a.m., 11,663 feet, 4.5 miles, just popped out from some brush and just suddenly you're at the bottom of all of this. It just kind of disappeared for a minute. It's back. Oh, that's cool. Other side of the mountain there. If you look across, it's like a lowlands. Reminds me of an old school RuneScape. You got the Kibos lowlands. Well, that's what it looks like. We'll go chompy bird hunting over there. Oh, this is so beautiful though. Man, maybe in the future I'll do more of a backpacking trip and backpack in the wilderness. Set up a camp around here or something on a good day. Oh, there's Chicago Lake, Lower Chicago Lake down there. We'll go check that out in just a sec. Just another quick view of Lower Chicago Lake area here. Wow. 8:55 a.m. at 4.81 miles in. Naturally, we have to go down again before going back up. That to me is always just the worst, you know? It's like, ugh, for every foot I drop, I'm gonna have to climb right back up it on the other side. But it's alright, at least it gives a nice break for a minute in the shade. Downhill, you know, pretty easy. Overhang of a rock here. It's impressive. Like, how does stuff like this even form? Looks like the path kind of splits here, but it looks like it probably just meets right back up. There we go. Another little bit forward here, still by Chicago Lake, Lower Chicago Lake. We're passing through this. This reminds me of like Niagara Falls, almost. Just these massive boulders. Whew. And the wind. Traversing right through it. Definitely getting into a spot where you have to do some more climbing to get there. Still not bad, just climbing up and down big rocks. Another quick shot here. Lower Chicago Lake. (9:20 a.m. now. After the last clip there, I actually decided it'd be a good spot to put on some sunscreen, get the sunglasses out, have a quick bite of my little protein bar thing, one of the 400 calorie MedRx ones. If you haven't tried them, they're pretty good. They are more than just a regular protein bar, obviously, but for something like this, you want more than a regular protein bar. Only a couple minutes later here at 9:22 a.m. Gone from Lower Chicago Creek, or Lower Chicago, up to Upper Chicago. Is probably pretty quick here, but you can see how the terrain has just changed to rocky. It's like the piers on Lake Ontario. My dad used to let me and my brother run around on the rocks. Probably extremely dangerous, but it was a lot of fun for us and really encouraged me to explore things like this. Very cool. Well, I see why it gets the name Chicago Lake. You come around that corner, you are in quite the wind tunnel here. Whew. If it stays like this, I'll put my windbreaker on. I don't want to overheat though. Make you a little toasty. Ah, see, there it goes. Let's go up here. Just have a quick look. Very exposed up on top of the rock here. Woo! Here's Lower Chicago Lake again. Upper Chicago Lake. That's gonna be a fun climb getting up there. It's I believe Echo Lake is what's next. Almost there though. Good. About 9:45 a.m. Just passed Upper Chicago Lake. Stop. Got another quick bite to eat, and threw on the windbreaker here. Yeah, this is already looking pretty straight uphill here. It's cool though. I imagine in wintertime too. All this covered in ice. Oh god, it's gotta be so pretty. Looks like there's a little bit of snow up there. Could just be the rocks, but looks like snow. We're at about 12,090 feet. There are some places to make us stairs. I suppose it's better than free climbing it. Just a quick glimpse of the view from up here. That's still Upper Chicago. Alright, we're at 12,246 feet, 5.79 miles in, after about 3 hours. Just stop for a second to catch my breath here and charge my watch a little bit. It doesn't like when you use the GPS for this long, but found a nice little stable spot to sit and just enjoy the view. Alright, 10:06 a.m. 5.85 miles in, 12,353 feet. I believe that's actually Mount Berstad. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but just the rocky outline at the top, the jaggedness. I think when I was looking at pictures, that's what it was. It's crazy. You can see Idaho Springs Reservoir down there. Upper Chicago, Lower Chicago, and Idaho Springs all the way down there. That's where we came from. Whew. Alright, next one is going to be Echo Lake. Not too much more here, but I'm not sure how well this will show up on camera, but it is very steep. Not bad. Plenty of good footholds and everything. Just steep. Like going up an endless staircase. About 12,400 feet now. This might not show up on camera, but this, you can hear the cars driving all the way down there. You can just hear the echo of them. Pretty cool. 8 a.m. 6.09 miles. It's about 12,780 feet. Path is pretty wide here, relatively speaking. Not really any major risk. Pretty sure over there is the outlook point, because I've seen a couple of different sets of people up there, and that would make sense too, because then continue up that way and go around and hit the top of Mount Blue Sky. So should be getting fairly close to Echo Lake here. Just a while more of this uphill to go. Quick break at 12,900 feet. I did look it up. That mountain there is Gray Wolf Mountain. Mount Bierstead is on the other side of Blue Sky. So, correction to earlier there. That's Gray Wolf Mountain. Alright, we'll be at 13,000 feet soon. Definitely a noticeable difference in oxygen compared to, 10,000, 11,000 feet. Once you get up this high, it's I've been sitting down every 500 feet or so, just letting my heart rate go down. But overall, yeah, no, feel really good. Feeling good. We're definitely getting close. All right, it is 10:48 a.m. 6.4 miles. There's 13,117 feet, and we have made it to Echo Lake. If you drive up the mountain, park right over there. You can walk this way, very easy little trail. Come right up to the overlook here. Chicago Lakes overlook. You can see where we just were. Upper Chicago, Lower Chicago, Idaho Springs. Impressive. Alright, just stopped for a quick minute, refilled my water from the backup one, had the rest of that protein bar. I'm gonna finish this up here. Oh, no trespassing. Can't go all the way down there, it looks like. Sadly, no push-ups and sips of water at the same time. Just a little bit above Echo Lake here. It's where some real climbing kind of begins. Not enough, I don't think, to warrant, rope and all that, but definitely more than a lot of trails give you. Alright, it is 11:19 a.m. 6.73 miles. 13,385 feet. Check the horizon here. Yeah, it's kind of cool from up here. This is Mount Spalding I'm climbing right now. You can kind of see, the Chicago Lake side and the Echo Lake side here. Really, just so beautiful. 11:32 a.m. 13,500 feet. Now we're definitely just kind of scaling the side of the mountain here. Keep checking all trails every so often because people say that there's a spot apparently where it's very easy to continue to a dead end, but if you follow all trails, the GPS on there, apparently it takes you right where you actually want to go. I know, surprising for all trails that usually might go the exact opposite of where you want to go. But looks like I am successfully on the path so far. Here we go, 13,500 feet. And it's definitely up. Getting a little handsy with the climbing here. There's definitely ice up there still. I don't know why I find that so cool. It's 90 something degrees in Denver. If you just go a little bit this way, there's a freaking ice. 13,600 feet. You can see the plane. He's only a few thousand feet above us, probably. That's crazy. That's probably cruising altitude right there. I don't know though, I'm not a pilot. The water down there is like a red. It's cool. It's probably got the calcium or whatever from up there. Just permanently turned that section a bit red. All right, 11:48 a.m. We're about 13,700 feet. These boulders are humongous, and I'm sure it doesn't capture the scale of just how big that is right there. That's Mount Spalding. Well, this is Mount Spalding when I'm on. Some of these boulders are bigger than my truck. Whew. A little bit of wildlife coming out now that it's a little bit warmer. Had some insects and birds. Saw a little salamander looking dude at one point. Awesome. All right. All right. Got a little close to a rock and cracked the screen protector on here, the lens protector. Doesn't look like it's coming through too bad. If I can pick this off. There we go. But I think this is the spot that people on all trails warn about. It looks like there's a path that goes to the left, but then you get that way and it just stops. Whereas this way is very sandy, almost like a rock slide. But if you continue to the right, that lines up better with the compass and everything for which way you're supposed to go. This is about 13,800 feet, 11:56 a.m. Let's see here if I can show you. I can see why people want to go that way. It looks more correct. This is very slidey rock. But you can see path other people have come this way. just stopping on the top of Mount Spalding here, or at least close to it. A little bit of brain fog. So Echo Lake is the one all the way at the bottom where I started at. This is Summit Lake. So correction to any time I said we're almost to Echo Lake, I mean Summit Lake the whole time. So Summit Lake, Upper Chicago, Lower Chicago, Idaho Springs, then Echo all the way at the end. Almost there. Just gotta basically get up there, do the ridge line. Right, 13,980 feet. I think we're officially considered on the ridge line now, because let's go to Gray Wolf Mountain. I kind of just go that way. You can see where the ridges connect up there. I'm gonna go that way. What I find pretty crazy is, remember when we were all the way down there and we looked up and we saw those really good views? That's where we are now. It's up on top of that great view from Idaho Springs there, the reservoir. I'll check back in after I hit 14,000 feet. Not too much longer, obviously. Fantastic view. Every direction you look. We're nearing the summit of Mount Spalding here. Just all rocks. Little like beds of sand here. I've seen a few little chipmunk looking dudes. Nothing bigger, like no goats or those little armadillo things, but maybe they're not wanting to come out to say hi. Oh, I forgot the time. It's just, about 12:30. According to the watch, we're at 14,170 feet. I think the elevation on the watch is a little off, because I know that Mount Blue Sky is like 14.5 maybe, and Spalding is under 14. But either way, it's close. I'm up pretty freaking tall right now. And just a bit more to go. I can see all those people over there. I bet I'm in a few photos, just like I took a picture of the hiker the one day. Wow. Must have heard me talking there, because we just got to the actual summit of Mount Spalding. The technical summit's probably on top of that rock there. I don't much feel like climbing up that right now, but little gopher dude came out to say hi. There he is again. I'm not gonna hurt you, little guy. You can eat your grass. There he is again. Just enjoying the sun. I gotta keep going this way from my path, but I'm glad to have seen you, buddy. You have a good rest of your day up here, okay? 12:39 p.m. now, yep. Just a quick shot of the backside of Mount Spalding here. Fantastic. There's where we're going. It's so close. I can taste it. That frozen ice there. There it is. There's a section of it. A little bit more over there, but I could go down and get some snow for some snow cones. Apparently, these folks I just passed saw a mountain goat up this way, so maybe we'll see him too. Alright, 12:47 p.m. Hanging out around 14,000 feet. You can see here, it's actually a very wide, very safe, easy path. So I guess if you wanted to drive to the top of Blue Sky and come up to Spalding, it probably won't be too bad. We'll see if there's any spots along the way that get worse, but it doesn't look too bad. Then just the alternate angles you get of all this, it's just so phenomenal. Sorry, anyone who lives out this way probably thinks that I'm ridiculous for saying it so much, but this is a great state. I love it out here. It's 1:16 p.m., 8.36 miles. It says 14,247 feet. I'm about to start the last stretch of the ridge line here. Get up there a little bit further. It's the last stretch. I want a pizza. Like a Chicago deep dish. Absolutely terrible for you. But at least I've earned it today. Oh, come on, guys. Don't be that ass. You left your dog's poop or your poop? Really? You couldn't take that to go with you? Alright, 1:25 p.m. About 14,300 feet. Very thankful for the hikers who left these guys out before. I forget what they're called. But all the way up here, there's the parking lot. We are on top of Summit Lake View, basically. Just gotta finish this ridge line up here, and I'm trying to evaluate and see where the actual hiking path is. I think I see it. Alright, take off here in a sec. Thankfully, we did not have to climb up that ledge there. I was looking at that, I was like, no way, like, it comes down a bit, and then we'll go back up. Because, although possible to get up there, I mean, I don't want to have to climb all the way up there just to come right back down. And then back up. So, I'm very glad that the path does go down the hill here. Oh, look at that. Someone made a little heart. Very cute. (1:35 p.m.) Going around that top of the ridge there. Kind of walking along the ridge. Staying nice and close. or if there's the random gust of wind or whatever, but it's been good so far. Just a little bit longer. 5 p.m. 14,421 feet. Just had a quick sit on the ridge line here. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to climb this. Not overly hard. You know, we got a lot of the little guide marker rocks. Definitely challenging. Not the hardest thing in the world, I'm sure, but not as steep as that earlier part. This is just a lot of traversing the rocks. We're getting there though. I just saw someone's head pop out around the corner up there and then turn around, so probably just went a little bit and wanted to see what was back here. Seriously, this reminds me of the Webster Pier, climbing over those boulders. It's 2 p.m. Should be just about there. It looks like the path is going to take me through the parking lot, so that's perfect. I'll probably drop my gear and swap to the 360 lens. I believe over there is the Sawtooth. That sounds like a good one to me, but just a few weeks ago I think someone fell off of it. I don't know if either underprepared or messing around or just unlucky and caught a gust of wind. But maybe I'll do that one day. There's a campsite right on the other side. So, let's see the other side of the mountains here. Must almost be to the parking lot because there's a car. Two 17 p.m. 9 miles, almost exactly. 14,562 feet according to Samsung. I see people at the summit over there. Almost freaking there. Oh. Just notice here, look at how red this side is compared to down there where it starts turning gray. I bet there's a reason for it, but this side is very red in comparison. 2:23 p.m. Here's just a quick view. Haven't reached the summit itself yet, but it's right up there. Here's a quick view from this camera before I change to the 361. Almost there. It's the last few switchbacks you can just drive to. Met up with Brittany and Zoe. Apparently my mom's been waiting at the top. Alright, so it is 2:54 p.m., 9.46 miles. It says we're at 14,729 feet. It's probably a little high, but close enough. So about 7 hours total hiking time. Alright, we made it. It's like we top the medallions over there, but pretty sure this spot is technically a touch taller. It's just less safe to get to. Wow. Take a look around. Zoe, did you look over the edge yet? Phenomenal.
There's a lot of little hidey holes. And it was so cold. It was so cold over there. We froze like crazy. But up here, it was like there was so much wind blocking. It was fine.
Nice.
But I kept telling. I texted Brittany. I was like, there's a little hidey hole. You can do it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if I needed a spot, there's plenty of spots.
So we found a clear spot. She's taking it.
Okay. That's honestly what me and my friends did too when we came here. Alright, so almost exactly to today, 3 years ago, me, Kevin, and Zeal came out this way and drove up. Got all the way to the top, and I decided that I was going to climb it. So that was in 2021. Now we're in 2023, August 21st. It was successful.